Chapter 5: The Integumentary System. Please think about what is the largest organ of the human body. What organs would you name? Maybe liver, or lungs, or large intestine? All of those are pretty large organs, but not the largest ones. The largest organ of the body is skin. Look at this picture. Skin is an organ. It's just a different organ which is located on the outer surface of our body. And together with nails and hair, skin makes the integumentary system. So nails and hair would be accessory structures of the skin. In the adult body, skin makes about 16% of body weight and covers an area of up to 2 square meters. And the skin and all those accessory structures are largest organ system in the human body. So not just organ, but the largest organ system. There are 2 types of skin. Thick skin exists on our palms and soles, and thin skin, the rest of the body. If you look at your palm, look at that skin, and if you look at the skin on the other side of your hand, those 2 types are different. So 2 types of skin. Next one. Skin layer covering the body consists of 3 major regions. Top layer is called epidermis. It's a relatively thin layer. Then we have dermis, middle region. And finally we have hypodermis. So right here there is a confusion. In many books it said that there are 3 layers to the skin, but the most modern vision, and right now in your book also, that skin has 2 layers, epidermis and dermis. And this layer of mostly fat adipose tissue, it is not part of the skin. Hypodermis is just subcutaneous layer deep to skin, again not technically part of skin. So if you have a question, how many layers are there to skin? 2, epidermis and dermis, but there always will be hypodermis under it. Now we're talking about epidermis only. That is a basal membrane, and on that membrane you can see many layers of mostly flat cells. So epidermis is made of keratinized, stratified squamous epithelium. Most of the cells are keratinocytes, those cells that produce tough protein called keratin. Also there will be melanocytes. They make about 10 to 15% and they produce pigment melanin. They have such extensions, so they could distribute melanin to other cells. Then we have tactile or Merkel cells. They are touch receptors. You need to know those layers of the skin in any order, starting from right here, from the basement membrane, and also starting from the top. To help you memorize them, there is a funny phrase: come, let's get sunburned. Come, corneum, the top layer of the skin. Let's, lucidum, stratum lucidum. Then get, granulosum, stratum granulosum. Then sun, that's spinosum, and burn, stratum basale, or simply basal layer. Stratum in Latin means layer. So stratum basale, we're starting from it. It's a deepest layer made of just single or sometimes 2 double layer of cells. And those cells are actively reproducing. they are under rapid division. When they produce new cells. So this cell, mother cell, divides into two cells. One cell stays here and keeps reproducing. Another cell will be pushed up and it keeps moving through all the layers of the epidermis, being pushed by newborn cells until it dies and gets off the surface of the body. And that journey from basal layer to surface takes on average 1 month. It will be faster in children and slower in older adults. Second layer, stratum spinosum. In this layer, you can see that cells are connected with each other with tiny structures. Those would be desmosomes with pre-keratin filaments. Those cells produce keratin, that's their main function. But also inside of them, some melanin granules can be found. And inside of that layer, you can find dendritic cells. Okay, next layer, stratum granulosum. Those cells already built a lot of keratin and they are just stuffed with keratin. Keratin sticks together in granules. That's why you can see granules on their surface. Stratum lucidum is special for thick skin only. It's just a layer of mostly dead cells which looks semi-transparent and exists only on our palms and soles. When you answer the question about the layers of epidermis, you always include this layer unless the question is about thin skin. Okay, so those are keratinocytes, but they are dead. How we know they are dead? You hardly can see or cannot see at all their nuclei. If you can see the nucleus, that cell is alive. Finally, stratum carnium, that's the top layer of epidermis, and it's made usually of 20 to 30 rows of dead, flat, keratinized membranous sacs. So those are just cell membranes, flat cell membranes filled with keratin, dead cells. And actually, that layer is much thicker here. It makes 3/4 of the epidermal thickness. And its function is protection. It protects under sitting layers from abrasion, penetration, scratching. It also waterproofs and is barrier against biological, chemical, and physical assault. Remember that no bacteria and no virus can penetrate your skin and get into your body if skin is not damaged. Okay, the second layer of skin is dermis, and dermis is made of connective tissue. So, cells in the dermis, a lot of them include fibroblasts, macrophages, mast cells, white blood cells, all those just names of the cells. And there are two layers. Papillary layer, the top one sitting right under epidermis, and it has such structures going deep inside called papilla. So that is papillary layer.